Welcome to this video. I want to talk about a subject that probably everyone at some point has done. And if you look at the title of this video called Dating Sites Rip You Off, I think it's pretty much true. But in this video I want to address the marketing practices of dating sites. I will not go into too much depth about fake profiles and scammers on those dating sites. Because the dating sites don't really, regulate those people on their platform and get rid of them quick enough, in my opinion. But in this video, I want to address what the dating sites do in terms of pulling you into their site, and let's start off this video. So, to be blunt, they lie to you. And they're quite dishonest, if I'm honest with you guys. What you tend to do is you sign up as a free member, and then you'll get a few messages, and you think those messages are directed at you and some members that are interested in you, whether it be male or female or other genders. But what you'll find is you can't read that message until you've signed up and you've paid your membership fee, which can range from £25 all the way up to a few hundred if you pay for a yearly subscription. And keep in mind, guys, I need you to be absolutely careful when you set up membership and you turn off auto renewal, because if you just want to try it for a month and you don't turn that off, you'll automatically be billed again, and it can be difficult sometimes to get it shut off on some sites. Some sites demand that you ring their customer service number, which is a premium rate number, to get your membership cancelled. So always check the terms and conditions. And if you see something there that means you have to ring a foreign number in another country, a premium rate number to cancel your membership, I would seriously advise you not to bother registering with that particular site, because there's other sites. I've been on the majority of them, and obviously being a single person, I've met a few people, but I find it akin to looking for a needle in a haystack when you're trying to find someone, if you're looking for a relationship or marriage or something like that. They do employ a lot of disgraceful marketing tactics. They lower the price for a period of time, and then it'll go back to full price. You'll get emails from what you think is genuine people, which you'll never get a response once you've replied to them. Some people are very curious. I'm a very curious person by nature, and if I get a message, I want to read it. And normally it's blurred out, so you can't read the message. And there you go. You have to sign up to be able to read it. And then when you do read it, it might only be a short sentence or a few words. Normally when it's blurred out, it gives you the impression there's a few sentences there when it's not the case. So you'll reply, and you won't get a response. So you've just wasted a month's membership, or maybe more, on hopefully meeting someone. I just want to briefly touch on fake profiles. There is a lot of them, and there are a lot of scammers in Africa and some in America. Some of them are in the Philippines, as well as China, in Asia, maybe even India as well. But there are a lot of fake profiles and a lot of scammers. And if you don't know what a scammer is, because some people don't actually know, or they're quite naive to the internet dating scene, so you need to be very careful and try and avoid those profiles, because the scams you may encounter, and I'll be very brief in this video, is medical. They've lost all their money, and they can't afford to pay their hotel bill. They may need to travel and get out of the country. They may be asking you to help with that. They may also potentially ask you to pay for them to travel to come and see you. So there's many scams out there, as well as some webcam chat scams where they may film you, and if you expose yourself, blackmail you. And the police's advice on that is just don't ride to it. don't pay them and just ignore them. Unfortunately, if they do have your full name, they may contact your friends and family on Facebook if they're able to track you down, and potentially blackmail you, and if you don't, they'll send that to your relatives and your friends. Some people have committed suicide over this, so you have to be mindful. There are a lot of scams out there. Going back to fake profiles, there are employees of these dating sites who are employed by the company to send messages out, so their profile is actually a fake one. And many of these companies will deny they employ these people, but I actually was talking to someone who admitted it blatantly when I was chatting to them. They were labelled as an ambassador, had a nice beautiful picture as they do, and they basically confirmed with me that their job was to send messages out to try and convince people to sign up and pay a membership, which I thought was extremely dishonest. And I do want to touch on the Russian and Ukrainian dating sites as well, and the agencies that they belong to. They do employ translators, and those translators have admitted to me in person, right? One person actually said to me before she quit the job, which was going to be the next day, that she was encouraged to prolong communication between two people and encourage the foreigner to pay for gifts such as chocolates and flowers, and half of that fee didn't actually go on flowers, but actually went to the agency, and the other half went to the lady. So really it was a racket, really, to basically pretend you're translating for women, although she did translate obviously some letters for lots of women, but she put her own spin on the translation of the letters, if you know what I mean, putting her own motivation in that letter towards getting the foreigner to spend money. So I just wanted to illustrate that, and I have spoken to a translator who did confirm that to me. And obviously regarding what I said previously, regarding speaking to an ambassador, again I spoke to someone on web chat, and they admitted it, that the website employed them, gave them a salary, and their job was setting up fake profiles and contacting random men and women. So as you can see, there's a lot of dishonesty with these dating sites. They charge a lot of money, and they give the pretense that they're there to get you a relationship or a marriage with someone, when the main goal is to get money off you. And obviously once you've cancelled your membership, if it's with one good companies that you can email or just cancel it manually on the site. So you manage to cancel your membership, and then you'll find messages or emails from the actual company saying you've received a message, and then, you know, are you curious enough to want to read that? And you'll occasionally get a special offer, you know, a discount, and you'll be encouraged to sign up again. But I just wanted to talk about the dishonesty of these dating sites, where, if I'm absolutely honest with you, they're not interested in helping you find someone. They're actually interested in your money, and that's all they care about. So, all the big companies that you can think of, I don't want to mention their names for legal reasons. I don't want to be considered someone who's slagging any of them off. But I will tell you that the majority of sites out there do employ these practices, and it doesn't matter how big the company are, how good their reputation is, they all do it. Right guys, I want to talk about those sex one night stand sites you can go on. The problem with those particular sites is they're pretty dishonest, and I'll pretty much say to you, and I'll be honest with you, avoid them, completely avoid them. You're better off going to a prostitute, I guess, because the majority of them are pretty much fake. All the pictures are fake, and pretty much all the people on those sites are pretty fake as well. You see, what happens is there's a collection of websites that have one server and all the websites, right, belong to that one server, and a majority of those profiles on these different sites are using the same profiles, and they're pretty much completely and totally fake and pre-built, and you'll never get a response. You might get excited by some of the imagery you see, but in general I think you'll find that the majority of the people on those sites are pretty fake, and you'll find that if you go on one and another, they look very similar but with obviously a different domain name. So I certainly would say to you, avoid them. Like I said, you're better off going to you know, a brothel or something than actually going to these one night stand sex sites, because you're very unlikely to meet anyone. So I just wanted to touch on that a little bit, but yes, the majority of those sites are fake. So in conclusion, I think if you want to go on a dating site to meet someone and your expectations are unattainable, I think you'll find it very hard meeting someone on a dating site that's real. However, if you've got a reasonable expectation and you're not looking for a model or a superstar or a really rich guy or a rich woman, I think using the internet and keeping your options open and willing to send many messages to lots of different people could possibly, potentially get you someone that you would be happy with. However, don't expect a miracle. I think you're probably better off going to a club or a bar and meeting someone that way, because the thing is, and I'm going to be really blunt here, is you can see them face to face. You know they're real, they're not a fake person, because obviously they're in front of you, and you can talk to them. And you can't do that on the dating site. You cannot be 100% sure that that picture or that person, you know. A story someone told me once is they were talking to a woman in the Philippines, right? And they thought the person they were talking to was a woman. And it wasn't actually true, because what happened is a scammer had actually got a model to come along and pretend to be a genuine person on a webcam to try and deceive the foreigner. So you can't be absolutely sure someone's genuine, even if they're on a webcam and you can see them on video. So I think meeting in person is the best way. And if you want to limit your exposure to these scammers and these fake profiles, the best way of dealing with that is to limit yourself to people within your own country, so at least you can go and see them in person and meet them and then hopefully develop something. I hope you found this video informative. Please keep an eye out for some upcoming videos expanding on the whole dating scene, because I want to cover it in more detail, because it seems to me a lot of people get caught out from these scammers and scumbags that are out there, and I want to help you out and hopefully help you avoid you getting hurt in the long run. Anyway, thanks for watching, subscribe if you enjoy the channel, and I hope to see you in the future.